This is one of my favourites, sticky caramelised pork belly with a fresh, vibrant Asian slaw. It only takes 20 minutes to put together. And this is all of the ingredients we're going to need. And I understand not everyone eats pork, and this glaze can be used for any sort of protein of your choice. For a quick Asian-inspired slaw, what I have here is 100 grams or 3.5 ounces of both white and red cabbage. All I'm going to do is separate the leaves. It makes it a lot easier to cut. Once you have them separated, just go through and slice these nice and thin. And the correct culinary term for this is called chiffonade. You can also do this on a mandolin if you prefer. Sometimes cabbages can be quite expensive, so if you don't want to buy 2 different colors, you're more than welcome to just use the one. That is perfectly fine too. So with that done, these 2 can be mixed together and placed into a bowl. Next, take off the top from one carrot and then slice it in half. I like to take off just a little slice off the side. That way we can lay the carrot down flat and then it doesn't wobble around everywhere. And then once you have that done, we can just go through and slice this into strips. Again, you can use a mandolin for this for a little bit more accuracy. But if you're good with a knife or you just want a little bit of practice, I recommend using a knife for this. I then recommend stacking these up in about 3 or 4 strips at a time. Any more, it just becomes a little bit wobbly and you can get inconsistent cuts. But all we need to do is go through and just slice this into those matchstick cuts, also known as Julienned. If you don't want to do this entirely, you can run these along the larger side of a box grater. This is actually one of the first things that you learn in culinary school, just learning how to Julienne things and get those proper cuts. And with that done, you'll have these nice matchstick cuts or Julienne pieces of carrot. We then have 2 spring onions. Usually I'd separate the green stem from the white root, but this time we're just going to go through and cut this all up. And all I'm going to do is slice this into thin rounds. You can save a little bit for garnish if you prefer, but it doesn't really matter. It's all going to get added to the coleslaw. So now that we have both cabbages, the carrot and that spring onion in a bowl, we can set this aside, place it in the fridge. We won't dress it right this moment because if we do it now, it's just going to go soggy by the time we have everything cooked. For the dressing though, we are going to need 2 teaspoons or 10 milliliters of sesame oil, 2 tablespoons or 40 milliliters of rice wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon or 5 milliliters of soy sauce. Add it in a small pinch of salt, a little bit of ground white pepper, and then just whisk to combine, making sure that that pepper and seasoning is mixed through. It's only a very simple dressing and we'll add this on right at the end. For our glaze, we're going to need 2 cloves of garlic. These can be ran along a microplane to create a paste, and we're also going to need 5 grams or 0.2 ounces of peeled ginger. Both of these can be mixed together. They're going into the sauce at the same time. And make sure to scrape it all out of your grater. Don't want any of that waste. As far as the glaze goes, in a pan, add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, add in the garlic and ginger, 1 tablespoon of honey, just make sure you scrape that all in there, and 1 tablespoon of gochujang or any of your favorite chili pastes. Place this over a medium to medium high heat, and all we need to do is just stir this around, mix that garlic and ginger through, and break down the chili paste. All we're looking for is this to come to a gentle simmer and just start thickening up, and this should take about 2 to 3 minutes. We don't want to let it boil or anything like that because it will burn very quickly because of the natural sugars that are in the honey. So we'll just be nice and gentle with it, breaking up those ingredients. We also don't want to cook this down too far right now because we are going to be adding this to our pork and cooking it further to get that nice caramelization. If we cook it too far now, it will just reduce down too much and you won't have much sauce at all and potentially burn it too. So after a couple of minutes, what you're left with is this nice thick glaze. We can then remove this from the heat and just pop it aside for the time being. Now what I have here is some pork belly strips. These have had the belly fat removed and then sliced into about 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick. They cook in about 6 to 7 minutes. Super simple, nice and easy to get hold of. All we need to do is just add a pinch of salt and just season both sides of these. We'll add a touch of oil to the pan as well. I know these are quite fatty and they'll obviously render out their fat. We'll just get it started with a touch of oil. Now to cook the pork, heat a large pan over a medium-high heat with just a touch of neutral oil. You want it hot enough to sear instantly. You don't have to use the oil if you don't want to though, because this is quite fatty and we're going to get quite a bit of rendered fat. Lay the pork belly slices flat in the pan and leave them undisturbed. Moving them too early stops that golden crust from forming. And you can place something flat over the top of them using a slight weight to push it down. This just keeps it sitting flat on the bottom of that pan and gets a consistent crust all over. After about 3 to 4 minutes, the fat begins to render out and the surface turns a deep golden brown. That caramelization is where the flavor builds. Flip the slices and cook the other side for about 3 to 4 minutes as well, letting both the fat and that meat crisp up. Repeating that same thing again, you can put the flat surface on the bottom and a weight over the top. And if you don't want to do this in a pan, you can do it over a grill or on your barbecue. It's going to be even better. Once you have the pork cooked, I recommend removing them from the pan and then removing the fat from the pan. You can save this and use it for other dishes. Adding the pork back into that same pan and then pouring over the glaze all over the top. We want this to be pourable still. We don't want it to be too thick to the point that it doesn't pour because you will have cooked it too long. Turn the pork slices through the sauce, spooning it over each piece until it's coated and glossy. Let it bubble for about 30 to 60 seconds, just enough for the glaze to cling and caramelize without burning. And once coated, take that pan off the heat and let the pork rest for about 2 minutes. This allows the glaze to set on the surface and keeps the meat juicy. Now, right before serving up, just give that dressing another little mix and then add it straight to the coleslaw. Use clean hands or tongs, just give this a little mix around, make sure everything is nicely coated. You can also give it a taste and just adjust with anything that you might think it needs. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, maybe even a little bit of acidity. But this is just a nice, lightly dressed, simple coleslaw. When you're ready to serve up, you can place the pork onto a plate. I'm using 2 slices per serve, and this recipe that I've done exactly serves 3 people, but it depends on how much pork you use. And then place over that coleslaw just a nice little mound on the side, and the amounts are up to you. I do have a little bit of the green stem spring onion that I'm going to use as a garnish, as well as spooning over any remaining sauce that may be in the pan, and a touch of sesame seeds, which are completely optional. And then that leaves us with this quick and easy dish. The pork is absolutely delicious, that glaze is fantastic, and then the coleslaw just adds that really nice freshness to the dish. So with all said and done, we can then slice this open. You got that nice soft, crispy pork belly. We can then dig in. It's sticky, it's sweet, it's a little bit savory. You've got that really nice caramelization flavor on there. There's a touch of chili, but it depends on what chili sauce you've used, depending on how hot it's going to be. And then that vibrant Asian slaw just cuts it all back and balances it out. It's a beautiful dish, and I cannot wait for you guys to try it. Please do leave a like on the video, and thanks for watching.